Hi everyone.
Salam.
Okay.
Please be
our
seated.
team.
Okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. So we are gathered here today to discuss the direction of Prestige Berhad. So moving forward based on our financial report reported last year. So I believe that we need to diversify our investment and discover new approach to raise funds for the company. So one of the way is by venturing into Islamic Capital Market, or known as ICM. Islamic Capital Market, or widely known as ICM, is where market transactions are carried out in ways that do not conflict with the conscience of Muslims and the religion of Islam. The ICM functions as a parallel market to the conventional capital market, but with the fact that in ICM, there is assertion of religious law that the market is free from activities prohibited by Islam, such as riba, gambling, ambiguity, and disengagement from production of prohibited commodities such as liquor, pork, tobacco, and many more. Among the products currently available in the ICM, for which Sharia principles are applied, included Sukuk, Sharia compliant securities, Islamic unit trust funds, and Islamic real estate investments trust. The Malaysian Islamic capital has experienced phenomenal growth and raised the bar globally for product innovation and financial intermediation. This market comprises the Islamic equity sector and fixed income. In 2019, the total size of the ICM stood at 2.0 trillion, accounting for 64% of the total market capitalization in Malaysia. So, Madam CEO, what do you think will be the challenges for our company if we were to venture into Islamic capital market?
Malaysia's progress in the Islamic finance industry has been exemplary and a role model for the world. However, there are a number of challenges being faced by ICM in Malaysia, and this includes, first, differences in the Sharia interpretation on credibility. For example, each Sharia advisor has different interpretation or view on credibility dependent on the Islamic school of thought they profess, which is the mazhab. We can see here whereby the Middle East Sharia scholars rejected the murabahah sukuk to be traded in the secondary market due to the prohibited in the Islamic law. However, it is permissible in Malaysia, Dato'. Second one is the complexity of the Islamic structure. Here we can see that in structuring product in the ICM, all the ethical standards and Sharia guiding principle must be duly observed. Sukuk is known as an Islamic capital market instrument with distinctive features. It consists of several types of sukuk, basically sale-based, the murabaha, lease-based, the ijarah, partnership, musyarakah, and agency-based wakala. So from here we can see that each sukuk structure has different sukuk terms and conditions, as well as to the different treatment based on the nature of funding needed that added to the complexity to the sukuk structure. I think there is some other issues that Madam COO can add on.
Oh yes, I agree with those challenges we are facing now. But here I want to add on some points here, which is now we are lacking of financial experts who have knowledge of both, which is traditional financial system as well as in Islamic law. For example, now we are we have lacked a limited number of sukuk experience and expertise between Sharia members and also professional through the Sharia committees of Islamic financial institution in Malaysia. Therefore, we hope that company will invest more on the training so that our officers, our expertise will gain more skill and knowledge in these two fields, which is in Islamic financial system as well as the Islamic law. And secondly, I would like to add on about the adherence to the Sharia rules and principles. which is this compliance to Sharia rules and principles are difficult to adhere since the involvement of the Sharia advisory is basically active during the inception and structuring of the sukuk. Meanwhile, all subsequent activities are subject to discretion of the company. For example, the takaful as an insurance scheme, all practices, operations and management of the investment companies and firms shall comply to the principles of the Sharia, namely the prohibition of the riba, the interest, avoidance of the gharar and liquidity in contractual agreement, as well as prohibition of maisir, which is gambling, disengagement from production, and prohibited commodities, which is liquor and pork. That's from now the challenges from me.
I would also like to highlight on the issues related to the underlying asset. Sukuk, as we are aware, it represents its holders' ownership of a certain underlying asset. Some Sharia scholars have debated whether the ownership status of the sukuk holder is in accordance to Sharia requirement. One of the main legal challenges in Malaysia in terms of the restriction of the foreign ownership of certain assets. Although Central Bank of Malaysia has issued a guideline, however, the acceptance from the market are still low due to the taxation issues. Next is about the weight of the secondary market. There are several reasons why secondary market of sukuk is weak, such as scarcity of sukuk, inadequate trading platform. So to illustrate, sukuk in principle represent liquid instrument that can be transferred among sukuk holders via trading in the secondary market. However, secondary market for sukuk has not been well instituted, and this leads to tradable sukuk being practically illiquid, thus hard to trade. And the last one that I would like to highlight is the market perception and expectations to Islamic product development. As we are aware, Islamic product development is slow as compared to the conventional product development. Why? I think this is because of the market share for Islamic investment is still small, and Islamic investment must comply with the Sharia.
True.
As well as the screening processes and debate among scholars that can be quite time-consuming. I think that's from me. I think Madam CEO can add on something else.
Thank you, Madam CEO. I just want to go back to the in the year 2007 when our ex-governor Tan Sri Dati Atau, when she gives speech in the Sukuk conference in London, she mentioned that one of the important points for the development of capital markets as well as the ICM is the creation of a secondary trading platform for the capital market instrument. The platform could help the investors to manage their liquidity requirement with more flexible. And thus, with regards to that, in 2009, Bursa Suq Al Sila has been developed as a platform specifically dedicated to facilitate Islamic liquidity management and financing by the Islamic financial institution. This we can see that our government already overcome the challenges, but we are concerned about the security, about the stability. Therefore, we hope that government could focus on this to make sure the platform is very stable and secure in order to investors believe that invest in Malaysia is secure. That's all from. Oh, sorry. I have another challenges I want to add here is about the pricing issues, which is it was also mentioned by the governor during the Sukuk conference, where one of the challenges is the pricing issues, where further initiative needs to be undertaken to develop its own indicator for the Islamic security to be efficiently priced and credible. For example, the sukuk is issued based on the ijarah principle and uses the property as the underlying asset. The actual rate of rental may be explored to be used to determine the rate of return on the instrument. Then it would fluctuate depending on the demand and supply for that property. And finally, it will give true reflection of the price of the underlying asset. That's all from me about the challenges we are facing now in the ICM.
Okay, thank you, Madam CEO and Madam COO, for the detailed explanation on the challenges that the company might face in venturing ICM. So, Madam CFO, after we have heard the challenges that the company might face, so what do you think the prospects of our company investing into ICM?
Thank you, Dr. Chairman. Yes, there are a huge prospect of ICM that our company can tap. Okay, for the first point, there is a high demand from the global and local investors. This is according to the scholar M.A. Hanif, 2001. Since 1990, the Islamic Capital Market in Malaysia has emerged as a significant area of growth and has also boosted the development of the Islamic funds management industry. Therefore, ICM in Malaysia has high potential due to increasing demand from global and local investors. According to BNM Press data, so we have the data here, Dr. Chairman, the number of ICM sites in Malaysia can be seen increasing every year. As in 2019, about 64% of Malaysia capital market are accounted for ICM, which amounted to 2,000 billion ringgit. Okay, this is for the first point. And then for the second point, we can see that there are increasing number of Sharia compliant securities to date, where we have 697 Sharia compliant securities. This constitutes 62.49% of the total 920 listed securities on Bursa Malaysia. Okay. So for the other reason, Dr. Chairman, so why Malaysia has high prospect in ICM is the availability of a strong Islamic acts and regulation. Okay. In order to protect every market player in ICM, the government has introduced several acts and regulation. For instance, we have Islamic Financial Services Act 2013, where it provides venue to the banks to implement the comprehensive approach and mode of Islamic finance in Malaysia. This is starting from entering a contract. For example, if we want to enter a murabah contract or sukuk, so this act will protect us. And then up to the resolution of financial institution or other company. Under IFSA, the government through its agency Bank Negara Malaysia has been empowered to ensure all Islamic financial activities to be made comply with the Sharia standard, where this initiative will promote certainty and enhance public confidence in Islamic financial transaction. We have also other guideline, including Capital Adequacy Framework for Islamic Banks guideline that is applicable for licensed Islamic banks and financial holding companies like us. This will give a competitive advantage of Malaysia's ICM to perform and sustain in the future, and also protect our company if we decide to venture into the ICM later. So for the third point, we have the global leadership or global leadership in sukuk issuance. Okay, Malaysia, Dato' Chairman, as you know, is widely recognized as the most developed Islamic financial market in the world. This is as measured by the Thomson Reuters Islamic Finance. Besides that, Malaysia has established leading position in sukuk issuance, where I have this figure here. In June 2016, Malaysia has established sukuk issuance in ICM, which accounted 55% or equivalent to 637.3 billion ringgit. So this is a huge number for Malaysia. And then the other prospect for Malaysia is the wealth increment in sukuk versus bond. So we can see that there is a Sharia prospect in here. Okay, so this is proven by a scholar Ibrahim Al-Minai 2009, where it is found that the wealth generated from sukuk issue announcement is higher than of conventional issuances. This finding is attributable to the cost advantages associated with a lower cost of capital of Islamic debt securities as compared to conventional debt securities. So this is all the prospect of ICM if our company would like to venture in ICM later.
Okay, thank you, Madam CFO. So moving forward to Madam VP Finance. So what do you think are the prospects from investors' perspective?
Yes, thank you, Datuk Chairman. There are several areas of concern for investment in Islamic capital market. In a positive side, investors see ICM provide attractive Islamic products such as insurance, equities and sukuk. Sharia compliant products also attractive to non-Muslim investors, even for non-Islamic institutions. To support this, Datuk Chairman, 50% of the total savings of the Muslim population worldwide are projected to be invested in Sharia compliant. So I believe, Datuk Chairman, it will be a great and big market for our investment. So another perspective is Islamic capital market is an alternative financing and investment for Muslim. As Muslim investors, they want to get separate Islamic stock market, not to transfer existing stock market. So besides that, it provides alternative sources of financing for small and medium-sized enterprise (SME), as well as investment in public infrastructure. Another point is that investing in Islamic capital market also seen by investors as opportunities in social enterprise development innovation, because Islamic capital products such as social enterprise development via wakaf model and markets close alignment. Through issuance of sukuk, for example, Datuk Chairman, it will create the need for large funding for infrastructure to serve the social development. However, Datuk Chairman, in another opinions, non-Muslim investor might see Islamic capital market has limited option of asset class. This is because under Sharia, investors are prohibited against speculation or investing in companies with business related to alcohol, tobacco, pork-related product, and etc. So this might be the negative side of investment in Islamic capital market.
Okay, so thank you, Madam Vicky. So thank you everyone for your detailed explanations and information. So after we have reviewed the challenges and also the prospects from the investor's perspective and our company, I think we can all agree that by venturing into Islamic capital market is our viable option for the company to grow further. So can we say now that we can now move on to prepare the necessary paperwork, documents for our next course of action? Okay. Can we? Okay. So until next meeting, we should adjourn here. Thank you very much.